Creative Spaces is a 10-week programme. The gallery has been inviting artists to come into the education space to use it as a studio and to explore their own creative practice, using the collection to develop their portraiture skills.
I heard that it was slightly different from most other art classes that people had attended. In fact, it wasn't an art class. That was the sort of unique selling point, that it was a space that people could come who were artists, who happened to have a learning disability.
Participants would get the chance to develop their practice as artists. They'd have a safe space to meet other artists and also just use this mainstream cultural venue and the brilliant collection.
From the beginning, what was very exciting about this group is the idea that it was set up to be very reflexive to the needs and interests of the participants.
The structure is very loose and people are very productive. We kind of discuss things that people are interested in and developing, and then they just add it and kind of expand it and bring it into their own work. I do a course. Their focus is on portraiture, but how they make the work is really up to them.
It's about giving people with learning difficulties an avenue to express themselves and to learn from each other.
It comes from their own initiative and they build on what they know and what they want to do rather than being forced, do this, do that.
Working in a group, looking at their work, learning from them and being able to be in a kind of setting where it feels totally comfortable.
I can mix it with a lot of people who are more connected to me. Could we feel like a group together?
Making friends is obviously very important, but also to just learn new ways of working.
I like to say to him what people to see about it after.
The feedback from other people, which is really good, because if you work by yourself, you could disappear into your own head, sort of thing.
You learn to know what one another can draw or paint or whatever, and you learn new ideas.
Within the group, they've worked really well together, and they've kind of developed partnerships or mentorships at different points in the project.
Patricia has been exploring different techniques and she's been getting inspiration from the gallery.
I've done it upstairs with a divan, with a long cloak. And I've done it before outside the gallery. It's very good.
It gives you some ideas. You tend to look at the painting and look longer than people would necessarily look at the painting.
It's really good to take inspiration from the paintings and then come down here, build new friendships and learn about different techniques.
Largely people have developed in their confidence and also in their own techniques and practice as an artist, so they've developed in new areas.
Artists have to suffer.
I was a bit nervous for her because I thought it was going to be quite tense. And people tell me what to do.
I've seen Liam coming into this session at the beginning being very closed off and now learning to accept that he can learn other techniques.
It has changed, it's made it come out of itself. I think it's improved it, learned a bit of technique.
Using different materials which she had never used is really helpful. The first time it was not easy for her, but then the next session you could see, she was mixing the colors and painting.
I've worked with Mary through years where she's just repeating and repeating the same. It's almost like numbers. But now all of a sudden she's sort of like looking at the world around her in a different way. She's explored what's inside of her,
So she's going to do more using what she's learned from here.
I'll put it on a frame and stick it in a roll and do exhibition.
She's getting more and more confident with her own style and her own art practice. She's getting more and more ambitious. And she gets really inspired on these sessions.
I think it's just giving me more inspiration.
He's definitely bringing on challenges to himself and engaging with things that he wouldn't have done before this class started.
We're hoping that the pilot will develop into a series of ongoing programmes called Creative Spaces, where we can invite more artists into the programme.
Everyone that's been involved has learnt a lot, and it's been really exciting.
I think it's invaluable.
Fantastic.
See myself being more happier.
It's great. It's really brilliant.
Magic.
This place is absolutely all the hard work